Hi friends, how are you tonight? I'm Brenda. Tonight we're going to talk about the solar plexus chakra. We have a few minutes before I'll actually get started, so I'll just go ahead and get some of my things ready that I need to get ready. If there are things that you still need to grab to make yourself comfortable tonight, go ahead and do that. We have 2 or 3 minutes before I'll actually start. If you need to grab a cup of tea, go ahead and do that. Do you grab your journal? There might be something you want to write down tonight to think about later. Journaling is so important to just kind of organize your thoughts and keep you on track with goals and things that you want to work towards, and that'll be part of our discussion tonight. So if you didn't grab something to write with, and a journal or a notebook, piece of paper, then go ahead and do that. Just get yourself comfortable. A couple minutes before we start. Hey everybody joining, nice to see you. I'm just a little under the weather today, so please bear with me. Just a little, I don't know if I have a cold going on or what, but my eyes are kind of swollen and not feeling so great and a little congested, but we'll get through this. So the color for the solar plexus is yellow, so if you have anything to gather and bring in for the conversation that's yellow, please do that. It certainly adds to the healing of the solar plexus. I think I want to start this evening. I do have my single yellow candle, and I would like to start tonight dedicating this to Susan Shepherd, honoring her life. It's very fitting that tonight we're celebrating the solar plexus chakra, which has a lot to do with self-confidence and staying empowered and believing in your dreams and keeping your artistic vibe going. You know, having the self-discipline to stay creative, and then having the confidence to put it out there into the world. And so Susan did that in a very beautiful way. So thank you, Susan. So let's just take a deep breath and kind of settle into the space. This will be a fun session tonight. The solar plexus it's all about that fire in your belly. You know, it's located like right above your navel and right below your rib cage. So it's actually right there in your belly area. Yellow being the color, it's reminiscent of sunshine, brightness, a lot of heat, a lot of energy going on with the solar plexus. And the whole trick to it is keeping that in balance and directing that energy and that fire in the right direction. So that's what we'll talk about a little bit tonight. I do have a cup of tea to get me through this evening. I chose chamomile tonight. There are many different teas you can use to stimulate the sacral chakra: rosemary, ginger, orange peel. Bergamot is a really good one, which is why I love Earl Grey, because Earl Grey tea is essentially black tea infused with the oil of bergamot. So that is a good one. So the sacral chakra, you know, we started with our root chakra, which is our groundedness and keeping our feet planted firmly on the ground and remembering where we're from and feeling confident and strong. Moving up into the sacral chakra, which is a lot of our creativity and our sensuality and enjoying the pleasures that life has to bring and keeping that in a good balance. So we move up to the solar plexus, Um, the solar plexus it's about empowerment and self-confidence, how you interact with others, how you know, in a sense, how you manifest your dreams in a really healthy way. Um, if you have a healthy, clear solar plexus chakra, then you'll find that you tend to be like the leader of the pack. Like when you're in a situation where someone needs to take control, it just comes naturally to you. Um, it could be in family environment. It could be in your church or an organization that you're involved in. It's very highly linked to your career and how you perform at work. Um, so if you find yourself always wanting to, lead the project or, facilitate the meeting, and it comes naturally to you, it's without effort, that's a really good sign that your solar plexus is healthy and it's spinning at a really good vibration. So that the solar plexus being associated with the color yellow, it spins at a higher frequency. The vibration it's a higher frequency than the color red and the color orange. It just spins a little faster, so the energy really picks up here. So when you're healthy in this area, you feel creative. You're able to come up with projects and plans and ideas and goals. And you get energized by that. You get energized by coming up with things that you want to do. And you not only dream about things, but you make them happen. Yeah, like executing a plan comes really easy to you. It's just part of your personality. It's like you think, oh, I would love to do this. I have this great idea, but you don't let it just sit there. You do something about it. That's a good sign of a healthy solar plexus. You're able to balance your drive for life and your drive for success, for a strong career that suits you. Um, you're able to really balance that with the pleasures in life. Because, sometimes our drive for wanting more and getting ahead can get a little overwhelming, and you might forget to, stop and smell the roses, or give yourself a break and relax and enjoy the pleasures of life. So it's a balancing act, just like all the chakras are, but that's what this one is about. Wealth and abundance go hand in hand with the solar plexus. Not that I'm not saying that you'll be a multi-millionaire, if your solar plexus is healthy, but you're able to set financial goals for yourself and achieve them, and realizing when, what it is, what does it take for you and your family to meet the goals that you need financially, to have an abundance of whatever it is that you want, to be able to manifest that, to like think in a very positive way. Those things will just start happening for you naturally. This can be, I'm not saying the best career, for someone else. I'm saying the best career for you, whether it be independent entrepreneur, or, you're running a multi-million dollar company, you're a farmer, whatever it is, whatever your choice of career is, you're able to be very successful monetarily with your career choice. And isn't that really cool when you can do what you really love? You can really follow your passion with your career and make money too. Self-discipline and self-confidence really feed into a healthy solar plexus chakra, because it takes the self-discipline when you have these plans of action, if you will, and you set these goals to earn a certain amount of money. It takes that self-discipline to save money and to build that certain amount of wealth that you're looking for. You have to have that self-discipline, but you also have to have the self-confidence to know that what you're doing is right for you, and you're not comparing yourself to the wealth of others. So you're happy for others. When other people are doing their thing and they're living their dreams and they're saving the money that they need for their careers or for their families or for whatever, be happy for them. Be happy for them. Cheer them on. And if you're able to do that and cheer them on, you'll be even more successful. And this is another sign that your solar plexus is really working. It's really connecting with the other chakras. Your root chakra is doing what it's supposed to, where you're meeting your basic needs. And again, one of those needs has to do with financial stability, because you have to have enough money to meet your basic needs, to be able to live where you need to live, to put food on the table. So your root chakra has to be open and flowing just right. And then you flow into your sacral chakra, where you're able to enjoy the pleasures in life. You already feel confident and grounded. You've met your basic needs. Now you can enjoy the pleasures in life in balance, free of addiction, free of overspending, free of enjoying things to the extent that they're damaging to your life. So you're free of that. So your sacral chakra is doing what it should. And now you're going right into the color yellow with your solar plexus, with the fire and your zest for life. And you're creative and you're strong and you're taking the lead in whatever role it is, whether it be in your home or in your career. Whatever it is, wherever you are, whatever stage of life you're in, you have this tremendous drive and fire and zest to make things happen. That's your solar plexus. Full of energy. Think yellow, think bright, think fire. It's exciting. It's like right there in your stomach, like right in the pit of your stomach. That's why, when things go bad, you might have ulcers or indigestion, and it might be a sign that you need to work on your solar plexus a little bit. Take a sip of tea. Think about that for a second. I am feeling a little down today, so not down, a little under the weather, so I'm going to sip my tea pretty frequently. I think I have some nice music lined up for tonight too. It always helps a little bit. So another thing with the solar plexus, when it's healthy and lined up just right, and that vibration is spinning at the right speed, you're going to have a really strong sense of direction. You're going to realize your purpose in life. It's like you'll just have this epiphany that you're on the right track, or you just instinctively follow the right path, or intuitively, something tells you, like, I don't know why I applied for that job. That's not the job I wanted. But look what happened. It worked out. Or I don't know why I turned right instead of left, but let's see where this road takes me. Um, and when things like that happen and you end up where you're supposed to be, that's a really good sign. Don't fight it. It's a really good sign. Don't doubt your instinct and your intuition, because self-doubt is the crusher of the solar plexus. If you start doubting yourself and your choices, your solar plexus is it's just gonna crash. So this is interesting, and I just had this conversation with someone yesterday, I believe, yesterday morning. We were talking about, it's interesting how rare it is for someone to have like a very unique talent or a desire to start a business because it's something that they love. And I'll use myself as an example. I love to teach yoga, so I thought I'll open a yoga studio because I love to teach yoga. Like someone who says, I love to read books, I think I'll open a bookstore. I love to paint, I think I'll open an art studio. Whatever, you get where I'm going with this. So the solar plexus, when the solar plexus is really in tune, you have a balance of sensibility there. It's like you may have the creativity part of it. You might know what it is you love and what you want to do, what business you want to start, or what adventure you want to go on. But do you have the intellect or the analytical thought process and skills to make that happen? Do you know how to run a business? Do you know how to get your book published? Do you know how to get your poetry published? That's where the balance of sensibility comes in with the solar plexus. And being self-aware enough and confident enough to be able to say, yeah, you know, I think I'm a pretty good writer. You know, I wrote this story. I think it's a really good story. I don't know how to publish it, so I'm just going to put it on the shelf. That's not good. That's a sign that your solar plexus needs a little work. Because if you were more in tune with that, it doesn't mean you have to have the skills or the knowledge of how to publish that book, but you have to be wise enough to realize that there are people out there who can help you with that. Sync up with that person and make it happen. Put your creativity to work. Put it in the hands of someone else if you don't have both. But to go back to what I was saying, the conversation I was having with this person yesterday, we were saying how rare it is for someone to have both skill sets. And I admitted that, yeah, I opened a yoga studio because I love to teach yoga. I love to teach. But I bought a book that is literally called, So You Want to Open a Yoga Studio? It's literally called that. And I read it cover to cover because I don't know anything about running a business. So I certainly don't have both skill sets there. But you have to be able to have that self-confidence to say, I don't know how to do this. This is what I want to do, and I'm gifted in this particular area, but I don't know how to achieve it. So that's part of your solar plexus being in balance, is recognizing that and making that happen. So creativity plays a big role in the solar plexus, even though it's more related to the sacral chakra that we talked about last week, because that's where your creative energy, you know, when you realize that to enjoy life's pleasures and, you know, your sensuality, and it kind of stimulates your creativity, whether it be painting or singing, dancing, that all comes from that that energy in the sacral chakra area. But tying this all together, that's where the solar plexus then picks up and gives you that drive and that fire to make something happen with that creativity. I had to play some Johnny Cash tonight. If you know me at all, you know I love Johnny Cash. And You Are My Sunshine is probably my favorite song. And so it's on this playlist 3 or 4 times by different artists. But it's perfect for the solar plexus. And it's funny, he's talking right now, you can't hear him. But I thought it was interesting that they're giving him a hard time as he recorded this song, that it was only 2 minutes long. And he was like, it's done. Like, that was my song. It's done. It's not any more than 2 minutes. You know, that's it. That's my product. I just thought that was cute. So this all sounds so simple, right? It just sounds so simple to, take charge of things. If you feel motivated to do so, make your creativity work for you. Being the leader of a project or an assignment, or, being able to stand up at your church, if you will. If you're at your church, stand up and speak or sing in front of a group of people. But there are so many ways that your solar plexus can become blocked at a very early age. And you'll notice that's a common theme that I keep saying every week. It's like a lot of these blockages, especially in our lower chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. These are the ones that are of matter. They're more earthly, if you will, and they hold the most weight. They're the heaviest. This is where we carry our deep-rooted problems or deep emotions. And as we move up the chakra line, we get more into spirituality, a little bit intellect and spirituality as we get into the higher. But while we're working on these bottom 3 chakras, the blockages are so deep, and that's why you start here. But very, very simple things, and things that could have been innocent in their intent could have blocked your solar plexus at a very young age. So an example of that would be, you're a child, you're doing the very best you can at school, you're doing the very best you can. And maybe your teacher is trying to encourage you, but they're not doing it in the words that you need to hear. So you need to hear, I know you're doing the best you can, and I'm proud of you, and keep doing the best you can. But what you might have been hearing instead, and this could be a parent, a guardian, a teacher, caretaker, your boss, if it's happening later in life, what you could be hearing instead is, it's not quite good enough. I know you can do better. It's not quite good enough. That's pretty crushing if you know it was your best. It was your best work. It was your best effort. I heard a lot of stories over the last few days with listening to Jameson and his family reminisce about their father and just some stories in their family. And without going into detail, I mean, it's amazing how I'm hearing all of these things and having these conversations, and then I start gathering my materials for tonight and I realize how connected they are. But another thing that can happen, let's say you think you're a good musician, for instance, and your music teacher is telling you that you're not, or it's not the music that they want to hear. So you just put down the instrument because one person told you it wasn't what they wanted to hear. So imagine if that one person instead had said, "That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You're doing a great job. Keep going. Keep being you. Keep playing your music. Keep putting your creativity out into the world." And people don't do that intentionally. I really don't think they do. I mean, I've worked for people in the past who, have said similar things, and they think they're being, they think they're giving you constructive criticism. I think that's the lingo. You'll typically hear it in an office environment, maybe. Constructive criticism can be crushing. Criticism. That's the word, criticism. It just, the connotation of that is negative. So you hear negative feedback, and that can kind of put your fire out a little bit. It really puts a lot of self-doubt into things that you think that, you're doing pretty well at. That it might be something that you absolutely love. I mean, I can't imagine if when I announced that I was going to go through yoga teacher training, if somebody had said to me, "That's stupid. Like, you're not going to be a good yoga teacher," I wouldn't have done it. I promise you, at that time in my life, if I had been discouraged, if I had been surrounded by friends and loved ones who would have said, "I don't think that's a great idea. Oh, I've seen you do yoga. Man, you're not that great," I wouldn't have done it. I would have crushed my spirit and put that fire out, because I was a different person then. I probably wasn't as strong as I am now in some areas. But you choose who you surround yourself with, right? You can't always choose your family, but you can choose what you take in from them. You certainly choose your friends. And you need to surround yourself with people who feed your fire. People who feed your fire and make your flame really glow. You don't want anybody who's going to throw water on your fire. So the solar plexus chakra, this is very similar to the sacral chakra as well. It kind of has a duality to it, where if you have too much of this energy going on, or the wrong kind of this fire going on in your belly, you may become a workaholic. You might devote too much time to work. You might obsess about the money. You're constantly looking at the bills, making sure I have enough, pinching every penny that you have, and not enjoying your family, not spending enough time with your family, not doing the things that bring enjoyment to your life and to your family's life. So that's another sign of a blockage in the solar plexus. It can go that direction as well. And it seems like the ones who are in that category, and maybe you recognize yourself. So just think about that a little bit. Just think about the balance. Like, you want to be able to recognize when enough money is enough money. And enough money for me is not the same as enough money for you. And if you have bigger goals than I have, good for you. I'll cheer you on. But it seems like in some of these severe cases where you may become obsessed with the money aspect of this, and you refuse to spend on, just simple pleasures, or you never eat out. We always have to eat ramen noodles, whether we can afford something better or not. If you become just so obsessive, think about that you might actually be denying yourself and your family of just some very basic pleasures in life. And sometimes when you're in that category, you might even become a little judgmental of people who are spending money, right? So just remember, wherever you are, just try to stay in your lane. Keep your eye on the prize, your prize. What is it that you need? What's driving you? What's feeding your fire? What is your fuel? Keep it healthy. Keep it on track. Say, hey, good job to the people in the other lanes, but don't judge them if their goals and their fire is not burning at the same rate as your fire. That's pretty important. My dog has something to say about that, evidently. So there are lots of ways, if you've recognized yourself in any of these methods in which your solar plexus might be a little sluggish or maybe overactive. The color yellow, we've already talked about. I have this. I don't have any yellow clothes. Yellow is it's just not my color. I don't like to wear yellow. It's just not something I have around. But I do have this pretty gold scarf that if I feel like I need to work on my solar plexus, just gravitate to things that are yellow or gold. And I did choose my yellow coffee mug tonight for my tea. Surrounding yourself with yellow, sunshine. Get all the sunshine you can get. Vitamin C, vitamin D. That'll really help with your solar plexus. So foods that you can eat, obviously anything that's yellow, like lemons are phenomenal for your solar plexus. Yellow peppers, corn. Taco Tuesday. Like corn tortillas for your tacos or corn chips are really good for your creative mind. Isn't that interesting? Corn. Potatoes, yellow potatoes. Butter, but especially grass-fed butter. Have you ever had grass-fed butter? It's that really deep yellow color. That's really good for you too. It's very, very stimulating. I forgot to turn my essential oils on tonight. So essential oils, that's another thing. The oils are always good for stimulating your chakras. I have bergamot in my diffuser tonight. Bergamot is a really good oil for your solar plexus. Lemon oil, ginger, cinnamon. Think fire. Think things that are going to ignite that fire a little bit. Clary sage is another good one. I need to get comfortable here. Clary sage is another good. It's very relaxing, but it's stimulating to the solar plexus. Clary sage it's one of the strongest relaxant aromatherapies that you can get. It almost has a euphoric, kind of response. Your body kind of has a little bit of euphoria with clary sage. I've heard, scientifically, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that if you're pregnant, that kind of stay away from clary sage. If anybody knows, I can't see any comments, but if anybody knows that to be a fact, I'd like to see, and I'll look at your comments later. I have my comments blocked right now so I don't get too distracted. Another thing you can do with oil, of course, using aromatherapy is really good. But you can also, if you have the right kind of oil. So I got this one at a multi-sensory yoga training that I went to in Columbus. And this one is called Courage. So I believe it has bergamot I forget what the other scents are, but I can definitely smell bergamot. But when you have an oil, with a dropper, you can just put a little drop on your wrist and just kind of gently rub that together. And then bring the palms of your hand, your wrist, up to your face. And just inhale. You can do that with any of your essential oils. And if you have, maybe you know this and maybe you don't, but if you have any of your wrist beads that have like these lava rocks, the black rocks that are very textured, if you don't already know this, the purpose of those textured rocks is to put essential oil on. You can just put a little drop on your beads and you'll have that with you throughout the day. And anytime you need to take a big inhale, anytime you need to relax, stop and take a breath, you can inhale from your wrist or from your beads. So that's a really good way. And of course, crystals, we've talked about in the other sessions that crystals have an energy, a certain energy from the earth. And, based on the color of the crystals, they're tied directly to the energy in those vortexes of your chakras. So for the solar plexus, citrine or topaz, I actually have a tiger's eye. And you know what? It just hit me as soon as I looked down at this tiger's eye. And I know I started out this session lighting a candle for Susan. It just occurred to me, Susan bought me this bracelet. And it's of the solar system, but it has a tiger's eye bead. And it has this beautiful yellow sunshiny bead. Wow. How cool is that? I mean, it's the one I have on. I take my beads and I put them on my frog stand every day, and when I pull them off, I just put 4 on this wrist and 4 on this in no particular order. And this is the one from Susan that she gifted me, so thank you for that, Susan. Meditation. It's really good to meditate for your solar plexus, like early in the morning if you have the opportunity to see a sunrise or a sunset, anything that has to do with the sun. You can sit near a window with sunshine coming in. Affirmations, telling yourself, I'm creative, I'm independent, I trust my instinct, I'm confident, I'm a natural born leader. You can repeat these things to yourself. And meditation is simply an act of just sitting quietly. And it can be as simple as observing your breath, because you can't completely quiet your mind ever. They say that's the goal of meditation, is to quiet your mind. Your mind's not designed like that. You're going to have thoughts floating through your mind constantly, and that's okay. Like, you let the thought come in. Okay, I hear you, I see you. Let it go. Just like a balloon. Let it go, and then go back to in and out. Just noticing how your body reacts to the breath as you inhale and you exhale. Notice if your breath is shallow, or if you're trying to relax or calm your nervous system, taking a big inhale, completely filling your lungs, expanding your chest so that your body sits up straight, and then letting it all out. Instantly stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, calms you down in a split second. That's meditation. You can use your quiet time to listen. Listen to signs and signals. Pay attention to what your body's telling you. Talk to God. It can be prayer time. It can be contemplative. Don't make meditation difficult. It's just taking the time to be in tune and to listen to what's going on around you and honoring your body, honoring your thoughts. Since we're talking about the solar plexus, and you can close your eyes if you want to. I want you to think about that fire in your belly where your solar plexus sits. I want you to imagine that fire burning bright. Who is feeding that fire? Who's throwing logs on your fire? And what do they represent? Think about that. You have control over that. Because if you're allowing people to throw negative logs on your fire, that's the energy that's going to come out. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are filling you with self-doubt and crushing your dreams, dampening your spirit, don't let them have access to your fire anymore. You have control over that. Surround yourself with people who are going to throw positive love logs on your fire. And that's what you'll burn. You'll glow with love and light and confidence. That's what you want to put out from your fire. It's your fire. Feed it well. Picture that fire. Picture your sacral chakra, that bright yellow light. Right below your rib cage, right above your navel, spinning at a pretty high frequency because it's fire. It's spinning, it's glowing, this bright yellow light. As it spins, it gets bigger and bigger until it's outside the boundaries of your physical body. Feed it well. Think about your dreams. Think about your passions. And let that light that's coming from your fire, let that light be a spotlight on your dream, on your goal, on the wealth and abundance that you need, on your loved ones, on your family. It's your light, and let it shine. And if you find that that spotlight is hitting a dark area that you shouldn't be in, you can shift it. Just in your mind, picture that you're just like getting a hold of that light and you're just like shifting it. Point it in the direction that you want to be. It's your light. Let it burn. You control who gets to feed that fire. You control that creativity, and you're confident enough, you're creative enough to chase your dreams, to come up with your dreams in the first place. Come up with your dreams. What do you want? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And then have the confidence to go for it. That's your solar plexus. So I'm just going to leave you with a little quiet time right now for this final song. Just take a few deep breaths. Exhale. As you soften your thoughts, soften your heart. Imagine your sunshine in your solar plexus. Find your happy place. Let your mind go to that place, that one place that only you know, where you're the happiest, you're the most content, you're the best version of you. It just makes you smile so big because you know what I'm talking about. Stay there. Just stay right there. And remember that person. And anytime that things get tough, you find yourself in a bad situation, find that person again. You can do it in your mind. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week, next Sunday, 7 p.m. And we'll talk about the heart chakra. Good night.